This year's collection is broken down into 4 major parts, starting with Dear Diary. And we also have the Savage Not Sorry collection, which I'm wearing right now. We have the male introduction to our brand, which I'm so excited about. We're collaborating with Christian Combs. So for the first time, we're gonna have boxer briefs, boxer shorts, and I mean, I'm not gonna say it's for men because I wear it too, but I like to be flexible. Well, last year at our last Savage show, it was really exciting for our customers and the Amazon Prime Video audience to see a male representation in a brand that hadn't really explored that before. And Christian did such a good job with his little 6-pack or whatever he did and flexed when he did that. And he had Savage on the top of these. Everybody was asking me about these. What are those? I want them. I want them. I want them. And I felt like, why not give it to them? And Christian, he does such a great job at representing Savage X as an ambassador. It just felt right to have him be our first true collaborator in a space that we hadn't explored before. We've collaborated before, but not in a new franchise. The show has evolved so much since the first one in 2018. We started off our show in like an old armory, and it was really hot and sweaty. And we really only had limited resources to work with, but we made the best of it, and people really enjoyed just seeing a bit of inclusivity. And when we realized how much people appreciated something that we just sincerely wanted to do, we didn't know that we would have the response that we did. And so we took that and we said, this is going to be the core of what our brand stands for, because we do it already, we love it, we appreciate it, and to see people confirm and validate it, we didn't want to deny their access to our brand. And from now on, we're just going to keep expanding on the level of inclusivity, and every show has expanded on that ever since. And this time it's going to be nothing different. We're going to have an amazing show. We're going to have completely extreme levels of inclusivity, and we're going to have people feeling excited about just seeing something fun in the midst of a really dark, wild time. I'm happy to be a part of that. Give people a little bit of hope, excitement, and something fun to look at. It's really important for me to expand, to build, to evolve, to do things bigger, better, try new aspects of creativity. Very important for me. I get bored really quickly, so if I've done it, I'm already bored of it while I'm doing it. That's something, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I'm always like, what's next? What's next? I want something better. I want something different. How do we, it doesn't necessarily have to be bigger, but maybe it's deeper. Maybe we just go deeper and explore things that aren't being discussed. When casting the show, there are a lot of different aspects. So there are a lot of different mini categories that I have in my brain, because when it comes to being inclusive, you want everyone to be a part of that. So I always want to have my women of color. I want to have an array of women in the minority space and of our race and our people. I want to have representation in aspects that are outside of that, where women aren't usually projected as sexy, but they are. They're sexy, and they need to know that. They need to be validated about that, no matter what size they are. I'm so focused on that and making women, and not just women, but everyone feel invited, welcome. Savage is a home, it's a hub, and it's a safe space for everyone. I'm mostly excited to shoot garden. I know Dear Diary, I'm also gonna be like slightly mysteriously a part of. I'm mostly excited about Paris opening the show, really, because it presents such a strength, a confidence, it sets a tone of body positivity. She's everything that every woman wants to feel, and she exudes that in her performance, her choreography, her creativity, and her vision. And I felt like it was important to have her be a staple at the beginning of the show just to set the tone. And then in Garden, I got to come out and play in Flower and what they call it, power walk. That's what they called it. But I'm gonna do my best to live up to that. Approaching the show, knowing that there wasn't going to be a live audience, was definitely something that would present its challenges. I'm always up for a challenge, so to know that Amazon Prime was up for the challenge with us, it felt great. It gave us the hope that we can create anything that we put our will to, and responsibly so. So having so many people be a part of a production like this, of this magnitude, is definitely a lot of moving parts, a lot of moving people, a lot of people to make sure that their health is in order, because that's our priority. Everybody has to be healthy. You can't even make it to the rehearsal if you're not negative. And COVID is it's like this thing looming over us. So it's a lot of pressure, because we're like holding our breath until we hear it's wrapped. We're holding our breath, hoping that no one gets sick. And that's something that's in our mind, but it's also something that we're on top of. We're not playing around with that. The other side of that is the behind the scenes, where the things that people don't get to see, how the collection is created, how these fittings get approved, how the casting gets approved. All of these things a lot of them have been done virtually for the most part. But the collection, we've been working on this collection since our last show. While we were working on the production of our last Savage X show, like we were actually creating this collection from scratch. And it's incredible to see how things can change so quickly, unexpectedly, and you just have to figure out what are we gonna do about it? Solutions. So that's been my drive, because we're always gonna be presented with issues, especially in a time like this, but you can do anything if you figure out how to work around it within our parameters. Damn, I mean, in quarantine, you don't really got a lot of juice to work with. I mean, you could get up and put on a full face of makeup and shit, but it's like, who's gonna see it? So the thing that makes me feel great is when I feel healthy, when I feel like my skin is glowing, my hair is thick, and I'm excited to do little things in life. Like, I appreciate every little thing. That makes me happy, but happiness kind of is the open door to everything. Like, you could do anything. You could be creative, you could be savage, you could be antisocial. You could just be whatever you want, as long as you're comfortable and you're happy being exactly in that space. I've grown to appreciate the little things, and I've grown to love being still, which is something I haven't been used to since I was 16 years old. What I want them to know about the show is that we're not going to dumb anything down. Within our restrictions, we're going to create. We're going to be forced to get creative and be clever about production and work our way around the norm that we've usually had. That we're just going to create a new normal, but we're going to make it incredible. So I can't wait for people to see how much we put into this show to make it as visually enticing as possible while they're at home stuck in the midst of the wildest times of our lives. I'm excited about that. But when it comes to the collection, we stepped it up. We keep stepping it up. Every single time I sit there with my team, I'm amazed at the fabric, the skill set, the techniques, and also the design. We're taking things to new levels, and I apply a lot of the things that I've experienced in lingerie in the past, just whether it's comfortability, flattering, parts of your body, how to flatter different things, the problem areas, things that people don't think about when they're designing for like a fantasy body. It's personal for me. And so I get excited. I love it. I love creating, but I can't wait to show people what we've created in the last year. Because it's been over a year now.